I'm so very excited to be here today and to also have an opportunity to talk about our application. Our application name is called MyHost, and our goal is to provide B&B hosts a way to provide great experiences to their guests. We'll start off by talking about technologies we use. We'll do an application demo, key learnings and takeaways. We are Team XAra. Starting from the left, we have Terrence, Andrena, myself, Mark, and Diego Gomez. As a group, we wanted to find out how we could optimize the learning opportunity in Project 3. We've had a great opportunities to learn full stack. We wanted to stray a bit from the MERN stack. So our front end became Unity 3D, and we wanted to add another language to our portfolio. So C# took that role, as well as we saw AR as an emerging technology, and we really wanted to incorporate that into our application. Again, in line with full stack, we built a Node.js backend server to talk to our mobile application. The backend server also talks to MongoDB in the cloud. So what we want to provide for hosts is the ability to create a custom experience. So allow them to use an admin version of the application to create that. And for the guest, the application in-house is they can use it to browse curated recommendations rather than going to outside sources where the information is usually questionable. So the application also provides a way to interact with the environment. We'll show this in the demo where we scan QR codes and that sort of thing. There's also the opportunity to communicate with other guests in the house. It doesn't have to be a complete passive experience. If you do want to socialize, we'll provide you with that. And like I mentioned before, within the application, there's an admin panel, so the host can customize to his desire. This feature, this app, will attract new clients and retain them for future visits. We really do want to assist you in standing out from all the other hosts out there. So here are the technologies we used. I want to draw attention to Unity 3D again. We use Unity as our front end. And the idea behind Unity was that we could export the same code base to Android and iOS. Along the way, we had to learn how to use ARKit and Xcode in the Apple ecosystem. And then we had to learn ARCore and then the Android SDK within the Android ecosystem. So I'll transfer the presentation over to Andrena so she can kick off our demo.
Thanks, Mark. So sometimes it's hard for hosts to leave enough information behind for their guests to get around their place and get the most out of their stay. Here we try to address that need and gather all the information needed in one place. So now I want everyone to imagine we're on vacation and you just arrived to your B&B. So this is my phone. We're going to open the app now. And here you can sign in. We thought of making this a little bit easier for you. So instead of the regular username and password, you can just sign in using a QR code. I have one over here. We sign in, it takes us to the main page with the host recommendations. So let's say you just come from your trip, you look around this, you're hungry. So maybe you want to go out for pizza, you click on here, read the host comments about it, maybe check out the menu, open the website. So you see that they have everything you need. Maybe you check out where it is here on the address. And because maybe you're a solo traveler, or like Mark mentioned before, you just like an ongoing person, like meeting people. So you just go here on the chat. You can remain anonymous if you want. This one connects you only to people on your B&B. So we don't have a lot of time for introductions right now. So I'm just gonna ask if anyone wants some pizza and see. There are people here, yep. Okay, someone likes sushi, so maybe not pizza. After you're out, Maybe you want to check other places. Here you have like museums, want to check out some cards. Again, you have the host recommendations. And now I'll pass it on to Terrence. He's going to talk about the augmented reality features in our app.
Thanks, Andrea. So I want to re-emphasize to provide a really comprehensive tour for their guests. This is more guests that aren't always around, and that's why we really want to streamline this experience. So we clearly want to create a better experience for better. Often difficult to even communicate very basic things like where's the house key, how to do laundry, where are the emergency exits. And as this varies suite by suite, currently hosts are using a combination of weird printouts and maps, and this rarely gets the message across. Enhance this experience by giving them the ability to access sticky notes. So as you can see on my screen, from our homepage, navigate to our AR, I'll go to sticky notes here. So you'll see, you'll essentially see my room, but like these are made by the host, and it lets them annotate objects. In conjunction with our manuals feature, will essentially show them guests, essentially can show how they can like use objects, how what different objects are. So I click my maps and I click load, give it a little bit of time, and oh, we have some sticky notes here. It's telling me that the heater's broken. Oh, that's no good. Over here, oh, I just have to turn on the power button to turn on the fan. Oh, that's very nice, and a bunch of other things. So the next feature I want to show you guys is our indoor navigation feature. So all this stuff can be utilized for a user who really wants a visual step-by-step process. As I previously, the challenge for to show specific directions with just, so we want to give them the ability to navigate in 3D space. This is especially useful to notify guests where the emergency exits are, or simpler things like where is the laundry or where's the parkade. So now I'm going to show you. All I have to do is click load map. As you can see, I'm currently in my room, so I'm going to load that room. Now, what it's telling me that I need to do is I need to localize in my current area. So I'm just going to stand up a little bit. I'm going to like pan around the room. Okay, so now we're localized. We use the PlaceNote SDK as long with Unity 3D, ARKit, and AR Foundation to be able to create this. Now you'll see this drop down at the top where it says emergency exit. I'm going to press go, and now it's telling me to look to my left. So I'm looking to my left, and oh look, there are these little nodes that I get to follow until I reach my emergency exit or my front door. Essentially, what it does here is that it's using a modified version of the A-star pathfinding algorithm to find the closest nodes until you reach your destination. And with that, I'll pass it back to Andrea.
Okay, so continuing on the AR note, we also have the option to, as a host, have customized markers like this one over here. So in that marker, when you scan it, you can have objects interacting with your environment. So if you want, you can have pictures, videos, 3D objects. And here at the bottom, we have some arrows. So as a guest, you can just go through the pictures, take a look at them. And now another feature that we have is the manuals. So if you've been in the Airbnb for like a week or so and you need to use the washing machine, but it doesn't look quite like the one you have at home, don't despair. You have these manuals here. You can see, but if you don't feel like going through the app and browsing for the specific things that you need, another thing option is like, let's say you want to relax, just listen to some music, but you don't know how to use the sound system. So there's going to be a barcode next to it. And with your regular camera, you can just scan that barcode and it will take you right inside your app to the manual specific to that sound system. Lastly, as a guest, you have a guest book option here where you can see all the guests that have stayed in the same B&B as you, and they can leave comments behind, pictures. If you want to leave your own, let's say you want people to really go to Banff, you can, Banff with one N and two Fs. You just do this, look for your photo over in your phone, upload the picture, submit it. And then here at the beginning, it's going to be your picture with the comment for the guestbook. And now I'm going to pass it on to Terrence again. He's going to talk about the admin panel.
So this is our admin panel. This is the final feature of the app, and will give the host to access and manage the XAra app. For the purpose of this demo, I'm only really going to show you two features. So the first feature I'm just going to show you is the ability to edit the host recommendation page. Just very basic. You'll go into all those. These follows the same format as our host recommendations, gives you all the fields that you can type in and submit, and post that to our database. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to show you now the ability to edit maps. So as a host, not only do you want your host, not only do you want to be able to load maps, you want to be able to build them as well. So very quickly, I'm going to show you the process of creating a new map. So essentially what's going to happen here is I'm going to walk around, kind of scan around the area. You'll see these green little dots kind of appear. Essentially what this is doing is it's creating a point cloud. And from this point cloud, it's going to be able to recognize where I am relative to the real world. So I'm going to call this test index 0. I guess my spelling is bad, but you guys get the idea. So here we go. This is our first point, our waypoint. I get to walk around, and you'll see me pressing this thing called drop shape. These are essentially our nodes. So anywhere here is going to be a node to essentially be those arrows. And then I'm going to drop another one. I'm going to call this, I don't know, let's call it exit. And let's put it here. And here we go. That's our second node. We can save our map. Type in a map name. Let's call it testing. So we're saving our map. And now that our map is saved, as a host or as the user, after it updates or after it uploads to the cloud, we're going to be able to access this map. Usually takes some time for it to, there it is. And from that, like we showed you previously, scan around and localize in your position, and then you're going to be able to access the map that we just created. I'm now going to pass it back to Diego for our key learnings and takeaways.
Thank you, Terrence. Now I'd like to talk about learnings and takeaways that we had from this project. Our project 3 was an amazing process and learning experience. Throughout these past 3 months, the project has not only grown in size, but complexity and learning curves, or code spikes, as we like to call it. We decided to learn and use a different stack of technologies for project 3, while still using most of the technologies we learned in projects 1 and 2 to get the most out of the Evolve U program. Our main goal and feature for our app was to have an AR integration, mainly AR navigation with maps and markers. We pursued a hiking app idea and model until our first feedback protocol, at which we sadly realized we didn't have enough time trying to make the app as precise as we wanted it to be. After the feedback, we reconsidered our direction with our exceptional help from our Scrum Master. Going above and beyond, Tony Grimes secured a meeting with Lloyd Summers, co-founder at Red Iron Labs, who took the time to answer our questions and doubts based on his experience. With Lloyd's advice and suggestions, we pivoted to an indoor navigation mindset to try the outdoor AR navigation in the future. This meant dropping some of the technologies we had already spent time with, and also meant trying to readjust existing ones. More specifically, Mapbox, a technology we spend a lot of time with for outdoor and indoor purposes. Other technologies we used and dropped were Buphoria, AR plus GPS, Wikitude, Firebase, to name a few. Behind the scenes, behind the app, you see a regular Mongo Express Node.js app. As you can see in this little GIF, we have a front end with Webpack, 3JS, HTML, and CSS. This is a functional REST API that connects to our app to our Mongoose Cloud DB, which we use in our app, making use of Unity's web request in C# to talk to our backend and database. Now I'd like to send it back to Mark so he can finish our presentation.
Thank you, Diego. So today we showed our application. We talked about our key learnings that we get to take away from this program. We're open to questions in a chat. I want to give a big shout out to the people at Evolve U for making this day happen, and also for our valued guests for taking the time out of their busy day to visit us on Evolve U Demo Day. Thank you, everybody.